Hello everyone. Gagwego scano. Age jangwa gagwego jo hiwaje od kunonyo. Da one dango diogwad de ana od neoja helwe ganon de guate. Unfortunately, I have to start by addressing the tragedy that occurred in Buffalo this past weekend. When hate and racism ripped through our community, leaving death, grief, anger, and unfathomable loss in its wake. The Seneca Nation continues to offer our prayers for the victims, and we send our support for their families, friends, and everyone grieving from this evil attack. We also add our voice to the calls for needed change. As we continue to try to make sense of the senseless, flags at nation buildings will be flown at half-staff until all the victims have been laid to rest, in honor and respect for their lives. Saturday's mass shooting was a grim reminder that racism and hate still exist and, in a moment, can pierce the collective heart of a community. But they cannot shatter our spirit. If any community can stand as an example for how to come together, how to grieve, and how to heal, I know it's here in Western New York. I hope that people across our region will recognize and strengthen the bonds of community that make this special place and come together to make our region even stronger. Last week, the Department of Interior released an initial report on another dark chapter of our history, fueled by racism and hate, the Indian boarding school movement. The report identifies 408 schools operating at 431 sites across 37 states under the direction or with the support of the federal government for a period of 150 years. The report recognizes 3 schools that were once operated in Western New York, including the Thomas Indian School. I want to thank Congressman Higgins for his vocal leadership in this effort and Interior Secretary Holland for recognizing the importance of the school's inclusions. The report recognizes and admits that the federal government directly targeted American Indian, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian children in pursuit of a policy of cultural assimilation, which served the broader purpose of taking land from tribes. The report also states that more than 500 children died at the schools. We know that number will climb much higher as investigations at former school sites continue, just as we saw in Canada last year. What happened at boarding schools needs to be accounted for and atoned for. The DOI's report is a start, not an end. I hope that the Secretary Holland and her team continue the work. As important, I encourage them to visit Native nations located within all ancestral homelands so that the survivors still with us today can share their stories and experience, and that the road toward healing can truly begin. This past week also brought the news that COVID death toll in the United States topped 1 million people. Here at home, we're still seeing a number of active cases, 52 in all, with 21 in Allegany and 31 in Cattaraugus. If you're having any symptoms, please get tested. And if you've tested positive for the virus, please follow the public health recommendations for isolating and masking to help reduce any further spread. Senecas can make PCR and rapid test appointments through Bluestone, Monday through Friday, between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. Appointment locations are Seneca Fire No. 1 on Route 438 in Cattaraugus and Seneca Fire Station on East Loop Road in Allegany. To make an appointment, please call 716-220-2442. Photo ID is required, and everyone showing up for any test is asked to not eat or drink or smoke for at least 1 hour prior to testing. For more information, you can contact Mike Gates, Emergency Management Director, at 716-244-0820, or you can send him an email at mike.gates@sni.org. The Seneca Nation Health System continues to offer COVID vaccine and booster appointments for all eligible individuals and age groups. To make your appointment, call Kim Bradley and Cattaraugus Health at 716-532-5582, or you can call Teri Cowles at Allegany Health at 716-945-5894. You can also use the online form senecahealth.org/vaccine. In other news, there are 2 important community events taking place in the coming days. On Friday, May the 20th, we will commemorate the signing of the Buffalo Creek Treaty of 1842 at our traditional ceremony at the Birchfield Nature and Arts Center. The address is 2001 Union Road in West Seneca, near the banks of the Buffalo Creek. By way of that treaty, our ancestors beat back attempts to relocate the Senecas from our homelands to territories in Kansas. Through their strength, they forever preserved our Allegany, Cattaraugus, and Oil Spring territory and defended our sovereignty. The treaty was signed 180 years ago. In the years since, our people, Onondaga, brought forth a great nation which has grown stronger over generations, shaped the very fabric of this region, and become an undisputed and indispensable part of our community. As we know, the challenges and attacks against our people, our way of life, our very existence have never been stopped. The fight our ancestors fought, we still fight today, defending our land, our identity, and our sovereignty. I'm happy to say that many of our brothers and sisters from across Indian country stand with the Seneca Nation in support of our fight. Earlier this week, I traveled to the affiliated tribes of Northwest Indians Mid-Year Convention in Washington State. Approximately 20 tribes signed a resolution of support for the Seneca Nation in our latest fight with New York State and our demands for a fair gaming compact. We're grateful for this measure of strength and solidarity. What we do today is rooted in the Buffalo Creek Treaty of 1842. I hope many in our community will join us for this important commemoration. Also, on May the 30th, we will have our annual Memorial Day observation outside of the Allegany Admin Building starting at 11 a.m. Please join us as we take time to recognize the bravery and selfless service of those who made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our freedom. Speaking of service, I would be remiss if I did not recognize that this week is National EMS Week. I want to thank the hardworking men of Seneca EMS and of their fellow first responders throughout the region for all they do to keep our communities safe. And finally, May is, of course, the start of graduation season. Many area colleges have celebrated or will be soon celebrating graduation, and high schools are on the home stretch. I want to congratulate all of our Seneca graduates and soon-to-be graduates for their accomplishments and hard work. Your Seneca Nation family is incredibly proud, and we're excited to see what your future holds in store. Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe, stay strong. Dani Hodiyite.